We'll move to the second module of the course. In this module, in this unit, the following topics are covered. So we will cover the conditional control statements. Under control statements, what are the if conditions and switch statements and other control statements, unconditional control statements. Then we have looping control statements. Under loop, we have three types: for loop, while loop, do while loop. Then we will do some exercises on arrays and followed by pointers. So let's begin with what are the control statements that are present in the C programming language. So first let us understand what is a control statement. Control statement, it decides the order of execution based on some given condition. So upon some condition getting satisfied, we try to execute set of code. We call such statements as conditional control statements. So these control statements, they modify the flow of the program. So we otherwise call them as branching and does some decision making. So these are the types of branching statements or control statements. If statement, under if statement, we have four categories: simple if else, nested if else, and else if statement. This if statement, we call it as conditional control statement because in all these four scenarios, we do some condition check. Based on that, we make decisions. And the other two are switch statements and auto statements. So switch also is a conditional control statement. We have a go to statement, which is an unconditional branching statement. Now let us see what are the if statements we have. So a statement block will be executed only when a condition is true. That is your if statement. So these are the variants of if. It is we have a simple if else statement, nested if else statement, and else if statement, else if ladder. So what is simple if? So it executes a statement block only when the condition is true. So this is the syntax of simple if. You have a if statement, within brackets you're giving what is the condition. So a compiler will initially check for the validity or trueness of this condition. If this condition is true, only then the block of the code followed under the if will be executed. Otherwise, this will be skipped and the control will move to the next line followed by the if block. So that is your simple if statement. Second one is if else statement. So this is actually an extension of basic if statement. This will account for both true and false conditions. In if statement, the statement is executed only when condition is true. Whereas here, we check for both true and false condition. For each condition, we have a set of block code to be executed. Say condition is true, then block 1 is executed. If condition is false, then block 2 is executed. That is your if else statement. Next you have nested if else statement. Where these nested if else and else if ladder both can be used where you have a series of decisions to be taken. So this will make choices between various alternatives. That is this nested if else or else if ladder. Nested if else, you have an if else statement inside another if or another else block. That's your nested if else. Else if ladder, you could see you have several alternate conditions which are a series of conditions which are checked, and based on their trueness or falseness, a different set of statements are executed. That's your if else ladder. Now let us do one small exercise, a small programming. So in relation to understanding the if statements. So the objective of the programming is to check whether a given number is odd. So let us, the program will begin with the preprocessor directive to include the standard input output header file. Then you have the main block. So inside main block, let us give the declaration of the variables needed. So here we are going to check whether a number is even or even. So all we need is just a number. So that is what the declaration section will have. Then we have to read the number. So use a scanf statement. So scanf, since the data type of the number is int, the format specifier is %d and ampersand number. Then comes your if condition. So what is the logic to know whether a given number is odd? The condition is, if the number is divisible by 2, then it is even, otherwise it is odd. So now let us check whether the number is not, or modulo division 2 is not equal to 0. So what is it? Number modulo division 2. Modulo division will give us the remainder. So number modulo division will divided by 2 will give us the remainder. If the remainder is not equal to 0, exclamatory mark followed by equals is nothing but not equal to 0. We are checking this condition. If this condition is true, then let us print the given number is odd. So it's a simple task. We have just one line of printing. So I'm not using this flower braces. Even if I use it, there is no harm. So for a single line, you need not use the braces. If you have multiple lines of code to be executed under if block, then this braces, flower braces are mandatory. So our objective is over. So we will end with a return statement. Now let us run this program. So already the input is specified as 7. So if I run it, the given number is odd. What if I give some even number? So what is the expected code? If the number modulo division becomes 0, then what is happening? Here I don't have else block, only if condition is there. So this program will not print me anything. So say for example, if I give some even number 5,444. Since the number is ending with 4, it is an even. Now when I run it, so the program did not output anything. Now here for a one compiler, it is printing the statement because I don't have any condition to output. Say if I print some odd number again, so the given number is odd. So this is your simple if. The same program let me modify, including an else block. What is the else block? If this condition is not true, then what is true? The number is even. So when this condition is not true, the number becomes even. So let us run the same program. So for this case, it is giving me odd. Now if I change the number to even, so the given number is even. Why it is printing that? Because I have given some else statement which is executed when this condition becomes false. So this is your if else. So you can use based on our requirement. We can have an if, else, and nested if else or else if ladder.